वेलकम बैक एवरीवन। तो आज हम लोग फिर से इंग्लिश का मॉक टेस्ट देने जा रहे हैं, तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। You must have heard the phrase tip of the iceberg. What is it? What does it mean? When we know only a little bit about a big problem, we say it's just a tip of the iceberg. The big mass of ice lies below the dash of water. Only about 1/8 of an iceberg can be seen. Therefore, the dash tip of the iceberg came into existence. The big mass of ice lies below the exterior outward surface of the water. Therefore, that expression tip of the water came into existence. Fill in the blanks. Because of the bitter experiences of the past, he dash everywhere. Smells a rat, disbelieves, sees a danger, suspects fall. I guess the first one. The gift was so beautiful that he was overwhelmed dash joy with joy. इसको लास्ट में करते हैं. A belief or doctrine centered around the spiritual or physical power of the wind. एनिमोग्राफी तो नहीं होगा. एनिमोइज्म आई गेस. The quality or state of maintaining muscle elasticity and physiological vigor. Tonism. An individual who specializes in or advocates for the preservation and enhancement of life and vital spirits. Vitalist ही लग रहा है मुझे तो. Characterized by a tendency to turn toward or to be activated by the energy of sun. Heliocentric, heliophobic, heliotropic, helioactive. हेलियोफोबिक तो नहीं होगा क्योंकि किसी फोबिया की बात हुई नहीं है. सेंट्रिक या ट्रॉपिक या हेलियोएक्टिव, इसमें तो कंफ्यूजन है. हेलियो एक्टिव आई गेस, शायद, श्योर नहीं हूँ मैं इसमें. Despite the fact that every one of the board members expressed their reservations regarding the proposed merger during the emergency session, the CEO proceeded with the acquisition, citing a need for aggressive expansion and an increasingly competitive global market. Despite the fact. Upon evaluating the intricate data sets provided by the meteorological department, it was concluded by the research team that the unusual weather patterns were a direct consequence of shifting oceanic currents rather than temporary atmospheric anomaly as previously hypothesized. Diplomat was careful not to mention the disputed territories lest he would provoke an international incident that could jeopardize the fragile peace treaty. Lest के साथ I guess should use होता है, तो lest he should provoke an international, lest he provoked an international, lest he provokes, lest he might provoke, ये तो नहीं आएगा. The board of directors criticized the CFO for not having disclosed earlier the projected deficit that resulted from the failed acquisition of the subsidiary. CFO for not disclosing earlier, yeah, for not having disclosed earlier. One word. A person fond of sensuous enjoyment. स्टोइक तो नहीं होगा, बोहेमियन भी नहीं होगा, प्यूरिटन या एपिक्योर. A hot potato, someone who is very angry, something that is difficult to deal with, someone who is holier than appears to be, ये तो नहीं होगा. To be unable to decide, नहीं, ये भी नहीं होगा. फर्स्ट और सेकेंड में बहुत कंफ्यूजन है मुझे. Someone who is very angry या something that is difficult to deal with. Sunil did not win the badminton, but he played with heart and soul. शायद. The recalcitrant student refused to follow the rules. तो compliant. Rebellious, obedient तो नहीं होगा. Cooperative भी नहीं होगा, rebellious ही होगा. During the investigation, it became apparent that not only the primary suspect but also several acquaintances were involved. My mother told me that she would call me later as she was busy with work then. My mother said me, told me, she will nahi, he would call nahi. I will call him nahi, I will call you later as I am busy with my work now. Work. I should be understood by people that it is not always people to win. People need to understand, people should understand. People have to understand, people हाँ तो फिर second ही लग रहा है मुझे तो. Some days before, I met a woman who had no parents alive by the train window and knitting a sweater, and it grieved her sorely and cried a lot. So I tried to console her while she was sitting, just by remembering her parents, and cried a lot just by remembering her parents. Uh, some days before, I met the woman who had no parents alive, and it grieved her sorely. Q के दो हैं, Q के बाद S. So I tried to console her while she was sitting by the train window and knitting a sweater and cried a lot. I guess ये वाला. ओके अब आते हैं हम लोग पैसेज पर. व्हाट इज द मेन आइडिया ऑफ द पैसेज, तभी पूरा पढ़ना पड़ेगा. So the main idea of the passage is technology breakthroughs always lead to immediate widespread use. नहीं, the success of inventors always bring them wealth. नहीं, technology innovations often require decades of development, scaling, and support before becoming widely adopted. Aviation became mainstream. नहीं, ये तो नहीं होगा. Tone of the passage: critical, dismissive, objective and explanatory, casually humorous, nostalgic. Second, according to the passage, why did Keller become destitute? He could not pay the fee to renew his patent. A quicken machine did not work, spend all his money, he moved to the US. Nahi. What can be concluded about the development of antibiotics like penicillin? They were immediately useful after discovery. No, they required significant further research and state support to be scaled up for clinical use. Fleming alone was responsible. No, they were not important. यही आएगा. Antonym of the crucial, important, essential, negligible. Antonym हाँ. Um, and the post-election crisis in Kenya remain unsolved. The damage being done to the country's economy is severe. Tourism, horticulture, and other industries that depend on trade beyond the Kenyan border are reeling. Many countries responded, providing essential humanitarian assistance and logistical support. For this, I and many other Kenyans are very grateful. Thousands of livelihoods, along with investments throughout the region, are threatened and collapsing. As the situation in Kenya escalated with murder, rapes, burning of properties, looting, and displacements of thousands of people throughout the country, the international community was urged to help. What? Which of the following should be the fifth sentence? Um, Characterized by a tendency to turn towards the sun's answer. Heliotropic. Okay. It was researched. Okay, so that's it for today. मिलती हूँ आपसे नेक्स्ट मॉक टेस्ट में। थैंक यू।